or was it actually more than one?
More than one.
Oh, okay.
Alright. So the guards look at it and goes, "These are letters of northern gods."
Yes,
There
we've
are-
come from the Empire. This all happened while... Sorry, I'm blanking on the name. This...
Angolia?
Yeah. This happened while Jules Ungolian was visiting.
Okay, give me diplomacy. I mean, you shouldn't fail it. I think even on a 1, someone could assist you to victory. Yeah, you're
How
fine.
about the 31?
Alright, so much like the good guards they are, they kind of shrug and like, you seem very convincing, alright. They'll let you in.
You sound very believable. Come in.
You sound, I mean, what ill intentions could someone with holy letters, regardless of Pantheon, have anyways? So here you go, get inside. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Desvolt.
So you guys are standing inside the palace. It smells of a distinct lack of urine.
Good.
That's nice. The
Thank God they've
precipitation...
been bleaching it.
Yeah, the precipitation squad came in en masse. So yeah, it's like, I guess we start walking to where more or less we know is, like, if we go to the throne rooms, no one's there. I guess we'll start walking through to the study unless someone stops us.
I mean, I'm sure some more guards will be there, and it's kind of like an annoying process of dealing with things. But fortunately, alright, so you're outside of the study.
I'll knock.
Alright. The vizier will, sorry, the sultan will, they all look alike to me. The sultan
What the fuck?
Shit. Yeah.
I'm
Sorry,
starting to believe you
I-
really did
I
it. That's
had to, at the beginning where I'm like, don't worry, Muslims won't make a Jewish joke. What I actually did was at 3:40, I hit them with another Muslim joke.
No, I know. I said, oh fuck, because you were like 4 minutes too early.
Oh, okay. Could you imagine if the timing was that good, though?
Yeah, I mean, 2 minutes. All I have to do is Jewish joke. So
Yeah, it does. Look, everything is said in jest. We like everybody. Don't ban me, YouTube. All right. So the Sultan goes in a minute. Do. Some time passes.
okay. So okay. I'm sorry to interrupt your business, Sultan. But we
Saying
came
this to a door.
Oh, to the door, so it doesn't. It does.
Yeah,
I guess
all I
I'll-
said was
well-
time passes.
Yeah. Okay, I thought this would actually
No, I mean, he said
Right.
he's like in a minute, and then he never came.
Eventually,
That man
crack-
ran.
I guess I eventually cracked the door.
You mean you knock on it? Or
Yeah.
are you
He
cracking
destroys
it?
it.
Like
Crack
with
him open.
the people in your party, I gotta.
Crack it open just a little bit.
All you have to do is like turn to Noel and go, Noel, cracker this door. Saltine this bitch.
Saltine
Alright.
the Sultan.
So you rap on the door. The Sultan goes, in a minute.
Just fucking imagine us entering David. And just fucking, as we enters this, you know what, Sultan? We came here right after a girl almost chewed us out of our money.
Okay. Well,
It's
unfortunately,
44. I needed to do it.
unfortunately, when you try to open the door, it's locked. So you shimmy the door. Actually, what you should do is you should pat to unlock the door.
Yeah, perhaps.
Don't unlock the door.
Don't unlock the door.
Don't don't.
Just imagine, like, as he finally comes through the door, it's just us, like, playing a game of cards now.
Yeah, that's when you go, in a minute. So what do you want to do?
I mean, we know his personality, so I guess we wait.
How long are you willing to wait?
Well, boys, how long? Because, like, Master can just stay here and hum himself all he wants, so he's fine mostly.
No. I'll wait with you.
Do you know if I have a deck of cards?
I'll
No.
crump with you, sweetie.
Oh, with you, sweetie.
Alright, is
How long do
everybody...
you think we'll need to wait?
Man's gotta eat eventually.
So at least someone should bring him food unless he magically creates it. But that usually doesn't
Or-
taste good, so...
Or he has another exit.
I start pulling out vials and burners from my handy haversack.
How much
Oh, this
crafting...
isn't-
How much time do you need to craft something bad?
It's a Lidric essence, so says I can make 2.4 a week.
Okay, well, I guess you can, like, contribute 4 hours
I
to
can
your
just work on it.
work. Yeah, four hours go into your work. Alright, so 4 hours later, the Sultan leaves. It's dark outside of the, I'm gonna call them windows despite the lack of glass, and he looks down at you guys playing cards and he goes, "What are you doing out here?"
We
Well,
knocked and you told us a minute and we waited for hours.
I don't recall that.
I'd imagine.
Likely story.
I'm sorry, but we simply came here to offer aid to your people. And I imagine you'd want to listen. Not be the case.
Alright, the Sultan raises an eyebrow. He doesn't say much else. Like, you can keep talking.
We have been listening throughout the town that there's been a bit of an overpopulation problem in the capital. And we think
Yes. Well, I've already assigned someone to that position. So, I don't need to hire mercenaries.
well, the good thing about hiring us is you can pay us only if there's results. I believe that is fair, no?
Or, I could let my man handle it, and I can continue paying him what I pay him for.
More hands not to not to do this any quicker. Finish the process.
If you wish to participate in this particular endeavor, why don't you go seek out the person I've assigned this to? And he will pull out like a scrap of his scroll, like he just tears off a piece and he writes a name on it. Which you have to understand is incredibly hard to do on your hand. So,
Can't you use a wall?
no, he just writes it on his hand.
You read Abanazar on this?
Yes.
Well, at least now we have a reason to approach him. No, but
We are
yeah,
doing things in a really weird order.
in
He
charge, like,
goes, "Now, if you would, please leave my palace. I would like it so that people such as yourselves do not clutter the hallway playing cards."
well, we thank you for the referral at least. Have a good night. Just start leaving, I guess.
Yeah, he'll also leave. He doesn't even check to make sure you guys leave. You could just stay in the palace. Like, if you
It's
guys are gonna be
nighttime,
like,
do we
let's,
wanna just
yeah, it's
sleep in the
nighttime.
corridor?
Like, just go sleep in one of the corridors. Just enter a random guard room that would be in like the
Yeah, that's what I
kind
say.
of
Is that a
position.
guest room?
Like, go into the kind of position where your rooms would be at the Empire's castle.
I'll start leaving the castle.
Okay. Drag Vincent. Vincent's like, I've always wanted to sleep in one of those funny tower things.
So I guess, well, beyond just sleeping and eating and resting and stuff. He's like,
Yeah,
well, I guess we. Yeah. Well, I guess now we find about Nazar. I think we're probably looking by just asking people about him.
Yeah, we have the name, so we can ask without a reason.
Yeah. So I'll ask around there, especially guards and people like that. I'll ask to see if they know where Abanazar is.
On your lowest Diplo check, people are going to be like, "Oh, Abenazer, he's such a
Abana-
helpful kid."
Yeah, that one. Where would he be?
Well, on Tuesdays or whatever the equivalent in this world is, I forget. They have funny dates, don't they? Um, but the equivalent, it's translated to Tuesday, so
Leo
you
Tuesday.
understand. Um, on Tuesdays, he comes by here for a coffee.
Good. Yes, we'll have a coffee ourselves while we wait.
All right. Well, if you guys want to cafe time through this, then yeah, eventually Abenazer, like you know what he looks like, so you see him running up to the thing, like waving, and she's already filling out his like coffee order to like hand to him for him to start jetting the other direction. But I know you guys are A, faster than him, and B, you can tackle him. So
I like the idea that it turns to like he walks, we are like in one corner. He
yeah, no,
talks to the
he
lady. As he
turns
turns
to
back, we are
run with
just
his
blocking him.
he turns to run with his Starbucks order, and you're all just right there in front of him, like you ain't running,
Yeah.
bitch boy.
We just make like a semi-circle. There's no way to run now.
Pedro, died here for. Just like, and
He
you
is
would be.
he is pretty tall for like a teenager. Like he's fucking, what is this? He's like 6'2" or something.
Yeah, taller than me.
Yeah, he's like, you would
That
be
being said,
Abenazer.
even though he turns to a bunch of people that are mostly shorter than him, he also turns to a lizard folk that is like a whole head taller than him.
So I guess I'll just go. Would you be
Just making sure.
Abenazer?
Did you put Steven in the middle so it looks like he's the boss and you're his goons?
No, Joe's in the middle because he's the talking
I'm
person.
behind Joe.
Oh, you're there to.
You are the
That's a good.
stand.
That's a good intimidation. Like you're talking to him, but you got to go through me metaphorically because he's in front of me.
Yeah. No, I'm on Steven. I'm on fucking Steven's shoulders, T-posing on this bitch. No, it's just the
All right,
fact
so
is,
Abenazer immediately backs up. He's like, "All right, if you'll excuse me."
I'm sorry, but we'll have to take a slight moment of your time. We came here to word of the Sultan. We wish to help.
Okay, like his face like contorts kind of because what you said was really fucking stupid. Where it's like, on behalf of the Sultan, we people you've never seen before have come to help you.
Never
Help
said on
him.
behalf.
Oh, what did I hear?
On the word of the Sultan.
That's the same thing.
It's not.
It's you saying that the Sultan sent us to you.
It's us
Technically,
saying
it is.
exactly that.
He technically said, if you want to do this, go talk with this person.
Right.
So he sent us to him.
I'm saying Abenazer's like looking at you like what you said is really strange.
Yeah. Well, if you recognize his handwriting, you at least have this. As I pull out a bit of strip papers, like you really didn't give us much time to talk to him.
Abenazer will grab the paper and he goes, "No, I don't recognize the handwriting, but I can't imagine this many people would tear magic vellum to prove a point."
Yeah. We wish to help with the overpopulation problem that is existing here.
Hey, let's go sit down and talk quietly about that.
Sure, lead the way.
He just goes to one of the cafe tables. Like, you're playing with an earshot of that lady still?
I know.
So
like,
Let's
he'll
move
go,
to a quieter place. 5 steps to the right.
and he'll go, "Oh my god. I was just talking and phlegm came out of my throat." Ugh. My body tried to kill me just now. Anyways, he'll go. I wouldn't throw around the word overpopulation a lot. Like, sure, you can view it as a good thing. You know, the economy's doing great, but when people start to hear the word overpopulation, they think there's too many people. And while that might be the case, you know,
Well,
people can freak out easily, and we're just kind of trying to not do that.
I
Well, that's why we're
understand.
trying to help you fix it.
Let's just say we're trying to help find possibilities of places where people can live, and we
Yeah,
think we
I've
might
been
be able
looking
to
for
help.
possibilities of places too, but you know, there's not a lot of great places in the desert. We're trying
What
not to
about?
we're trying not to have people leave hearing overpopulation either, going to random places like the Land of Fire.
Well, what about the Oasis?
Yeah. Have I showed
You
up by
mean
this point?
I mean, you're it was, I assume.
Yeah, you've been with us for a while
you,
now.
you mean the one that's like 40 something clicks south?
Yeah.
That's a very interesting way to measure. You're in the military, dude.
Yeah. I just show them the place on the map. There you go.
This one. It's got the dick
Yeah,
pointed to it.
that's no good. There's a person there that doesn't let people in.
We are aware.
We've heard
Well,
of that.
then we gotta
But
talk to him.
yeah, everyone can be convinced.
I've
I'm not
already
so
tried talking to him. He gets violent.
well. I'm very persuasive, and my friends are very strong.
Also the case that, I mean, everyone's got something that they need to open up a line of dialogue. At the very least, that's going to be the way to go forward. Otherwise, we aren't exactly pushovers. I prefer it doesn't come to a fight, but,
Look,
you
Yes.
know, if it does.
I kind of appreciate the help, but I really don't want to walk a week in the desert just to see it fail again.
Well, that's fine.
Well,
we can
that's
report
why
to
we
you.
would go first, and then if we succeed, then you come.
It's also a way of showing that we're at least halfway capable for you.
I mean, I'll admit that sounds some more competent than I was expecting from people that look like yourselves.
That's kind of rude.
Yeah, kind of rude.
I mean, I didn't say I was being kind with that, but you guys don't exactly shout organized individuals.
Neither do
You
you.
believe in organized chaos.
What?
Okay, what the hell are you talking about there, buddy?
We
Yeah, when you go, neither do you, and then your friend goes, we believe in organized chaos, Ebenezer's just gonna put his hand up, like, waving between you two, where he's like, I have a point.
I mean,
we're all very
Well,
good
listen,
at
here's how it's gonna go. We'll go
The
down there,
dynamic
we'll check it out, and if we succeed, great. And if we don't succeed, you have lost and invested nothing.
it's a trial run of sorts.
I can't
It's
argue
us
with
trying
that.
It's us trying to prove how we can help you.
Go on, if you can. Hold on. If you succeed, what proof are you going to have that you succeeded?
Well, we'll come there
What
back
proof
with
would
you.
be good for you? Do you wish to have some sort of writing from the person who's there?
Do we even know if he can write?
I
mean,
would
that's
Probably.
assume that he could.
Well, if you could not, the minimum we could do is we can bring a small group of settlers and show you that you would allow it if we do manage to succeed convincing him, if you feel comfortable with that. There's a lot of things that we can do to prove it, it's just not that. You can, if we do succeed, you can bring whoever you wish. We can try to bring proof if you want, but I can't promise that we could bring something physical,
you're
just
not
like that.
bluffing, so you don't have to roll against that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he kind of squints at you and he goes, I mean, if I have nothing to lose, go ahead.
Alright, well, we'll meet you.
Well, yeah, where's a good place to meet you? Finding you at the coffee shop and accosting you doesn't seem like the best way to meet up with you in the future.
Although it did work this time.
Yeah, tell you what, Nick, How long do you think you're gonna be gone? 2 weeks? 3?
How long would it be to go there?
Who the fuck knows?
Walking
That's what
there
I'm
would be
asking
like
him.
7 days.
At least 2 weeks, 2.5.
Yeah. It will depend if there's any setback during the way, sandstorms and such.
Okay, so in 3 weeks I'll be waiting for you here.
Understood.
Like right here.
Maybe I'll be over there. Just point through another table.
I think it means the coffee shop.
Very well.
Yeah, worst comes to worst, we get back early and we just get a little break before we talk to him.
All right.
Yeah.
So you guys can skedaddle. Also, if anyone wanted to drink hot coffee in the desert,
Yeah, no, I don't hate myself.
I'm
you
sure
guys-
the people with fire resistance can.
You guys travel through the desert for 7 days. Brum, 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 brum. Any random encounters that were going to walk up to you guys stop and they're like the desert worm. Like one of the mouth opens is like, shit, bro, that dude's lucky, and the other worm's like, well, that was close, and they just start leaving. All right,
God, I hate fucking lucky.
you're outside of the Oasis.
Shit.
I'll start assembling arena if you want to fight him, but otherwise you're outside of the Oasis.
I mean, you might as
Should we-
well.
As we get close, I'll just say, should we call up to him or
No,
wait
we
until he
should,
comes to us?
we should approach him for now.
I'm assuming he'll come up to us when he sees us here. And be like, yo, what the fuck y'all doing?
All right.
Siriso!
As Jace here, as begins walking up towards the Oasis, a kind of mist begins to form in front of him, and an elf of fairly tan complexion for an elf walks out with long silver hair flowing in the mist, kind of becoming one with it, and silver red talbards covering like his face and part like top chest and his torso. You've seen the picture.
Yeah.
He's just there being all mysterious in the mist as he holds like a staff in one hand with the crescent sun on it, and he just goes, "Halt, traveler. This oasis is not meant for the likes of you."
Oh, it's a pleasure to
Man,
meet you. I'm
God damn.
What does the likes of us even mean in this context?
Yeah, people keep saying that.
Please illuminate us.
He goes,
Yeah.
"Your kind cares not for the natural order of things. You will take from this oasis and destroy its purity. You will take from it and reduce what it gives to the world.
How do you gather that? We just
Says
met.
whom?
All of your kind are alike."
Not all of our kind are
What
alike.
are our kind, bud? You're making an incredible amount of generalizations without actually knowing us or anything about us. Just like we know nothing about you or anything about you.
He
Nothing
just
at all.
furrows his brows at you like he's angry. That's pretty much all this boils down to, is he's not talking to you now.
We,
I'm not actually a demon.
Oh, God,
I mean,
fucking
like,
him.
what exactly is it that makes you believe that we would take everything from this place and give nothing back?
The greed of your kind destroys the sanctuary of nature.
Well,
You
not
just
all.
mean anyone not of you? Is that what you mean by your
I
kind?
mean, like, are you like the only person here, bud?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know, Joe. Every time they speak, I'm like, I kind of want to start making the DC higher.
I know, like everyone immediately adversarial, and I'm like, what am I here? Am
I'll
I?
step back and I'll let Joe go.
I don't know why you guys even bother getting the cactus seed. You guys could wail on this dude. Remember,
I know.
He
I
was,
mean, yeah, but
remember,
you-
he was a solo boss. There's like 6 of you.
Yeah, but
beat
there's
him
no
up.
reason to like
I mean,
murder
there's no reason, but
somebody.
you guys are being really aggressive.
Okay, well, you're not helping the thing of like, yes, let's do
What do you
diplomacy.
mean we're
Also,
being
I'm
aggressive?
gonna
He
mean mug
started
him.
this aggression.
I didn't
Yes,
say
and
anything about
responding with aggression doesn't make the other person be like, you know what? You're right. I shouldn't be aggressive to
Golden
you.
rule.
This is the difference, Bet. We were fully aware that this was happening, and we planned to have a conversation.
When I see Noel not paying attention, I see the clueless meme pointing at him. Noel, clueless. What up?
We'll approach is like, not everyone of our kind is greedy. Some give back to nature as well. Your overall generalization might be a bit too harsh on our kind.
He stares at you for a moment, and then he turns to Noel and he goes, "What creature of Sobek are you?"
Hate Saint Guardians all across the
We are. He is not of this land, so his connection with Sobek is fairly minimal, if existing. Oh, sorry, Steven. I didn't see you writing.
I'm like, I mean, you can say it. I mean, I guess.
I
No,
didn't see him.
no.
I didn't see him typing either.
Yeah, no, that was the issue, Steven. I didn't see you typing.
Ooh.
My bad. Go ahead.
Sobek patron saint.
Yeah, did you want to cut out what Joe said, or because if Joe said,
No,
like,
you're good.
If he,
No, Joe says that, and I'm like,
headlock.
like-
Fuck you, stop talking.
Yeah, no, keep talking. I'll say that after. If
okay, go
something
ahead and
is
say your thing. Maybe if Steven's thing is going to be good, watch Steven just be like, "So who?" and it doesn't matter. You got soda in there. You got video games on that staff.
The
With
Mist
this
play
ability, we can
video
probably
games?
play a weird version of Whack-A-Mole.
Does your Mist play video games?
If I start hearing this, I'll just believe my character's having a heat stroke.
No, Steven just starts seeing all the mist, and Steven just goes, "Return the slab."
you fuckers, you're making it hard for everyone else gonna type.
I'm sorry.
Joe,
I'll shut up.
no, it's fine, Joe. You can have what Joe said happen because now I can't remember what the fuck I was going with. I was typing and I realized because Joe started talking about a race. I'm like, fuck. All right.
I like to imagine that Noel was saying something at the beginning, but all this stuff was the party shouting shit in the background. They're like, "Return the slab," like memes that make sense to Earthlings like you. And as you're just kind of like pissing Siriso off because he doesn't understand what you're doing, Joe just comes in and he goes, he's not of Sobek, he's not of this land. And then Siriso goes, then his. Sorry, I forgot for a second. What is Sobek the god of? I know crocodiles and stuff, but is he actually a god of protection? He's a god of the Nile. Smite's made me think he's a god of protection. Smite has made me think he's a god of protection.
God of Denial.
He's a god of life. Yeah. Okay. That's why I picked that out. So yeah, he goes. Yeah, if he has no connection to the bringer of the protector of life, bringer of life is one of those things. He's the bringer of waters. Stephen goes, "I am a part of nature, a river wanderer." And Siriso goes, "I'm not familiar with your kind, but you've done nothing to prove yourself of worthy entry."
Well, then at least let us extend our hand with something to add to the Oasis instead of take, as you so say. And I'll give him
Okay,
for now.
Joe,
I'll give him.
just for your sense motive, as you're talking, like he was getting already. He's like, as you're like, "Let's extend your hand." Like he was already be like, "I know of your kind, and they can't be trusted." Joe's like, "I'm just gonna start planning this while you shut the fuck up."
Yeah. I'll as I extend my hand and give him the two magical seeds that we got.
You hand him the seeds.
Was it planned to plant them?
Holds out the seeds.
I'm
just-
holding
you're
out
just-
this.
You're holding out the seeds like in your
Yeah, because
hand.
I'm
Okay.
saying that I have something to add to the Oasis.
Dude,
Okay,
Joe's
so-
trying to give his
Yeah,
seed
yeah,
to
yeah.
Siriso.
Yeah.
Would
No,
you
Joe's
allow
still
me?
doing what he's supposed to be doing. I just misunderstood.
He opens up
Okay.
the trade menu.
He opens up the trade menu. I'll
Great
give you
offer.
I'll give you that for your staff.
Would you allow me to gift it to this land?
He's silent, like he's contemplating, like he's trying to figure out what kind of trick this is. Really?
What
Did
a
we?
dickhead.
Didn't we
just
also
wants
buy a
to
bunch
be
of
right.
fertilizer?
Yeah.
Pat,
I mean,
Kind of like
of course
pull
he
out.
wants to be
like,
right.
If someone has the fertilizer, I'd probably like grab it and be like,
Pat, if you
There are
read his
people that
game
are-
profile, even after he trusts you, it says he still watches over you and Abanazar like a hawk.
Yeah,
Like, even
I can
after-
still call him a. I
Yeah,
don't care if it's
I'm just
right.
saying,
I'm still
even
gonna call him a
even
dickhead.
after he lets you in, he still acts like this.
Yeah,
He's a bit like you,
dickhead.
Pat.
I mean, I'm
How-
gonna
how?
try and.
What you mean? How every time we get to work, like you're like, but I'm watching him. But I'm there. I'm watching.
Well, that's because I'm not a single entity, and I have to go with the flow
Yeah.
of other people.
What's gonna be
Well,
the
he
case?
doesn't have to go with the flow, so he can be however he damn fucking wishes.
And that still makes him a dickhead. So
It's
Siriso
incredible.
is like mist. He flows around the protection of the sanctuary, and also he has giant monsters in him, written by Stephen King.
Yeah. I guess it would be the case that whoever had the fucking like fertilizer, I'd ask.
I have
like,
some.
Give me that. Give me that.
All right, so we're just gonna be like, do. Like he just start dropping down planks. He put down the fertilizer base, start planting seeds, and
No, I'm trying to hold it up and be like, I'm gonna fucking talk to him and say,
Oh, you're gonna talk to him. Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna like, or I guess like produce some or whatever, like grab some of the shit that we have, quite literally, and say, we are not exactly people of this cast, but we are, I suppose, an emissary of those that have devoted their lives to enriching nature in different forms. They are not from these lands, but they have very interesting techniques and they uphold, well, nature as best they can. There are people that care about the same sorts of things, assuming that you prefer to keep the sanctity of this oasis. Not everyone is perfect, as you say. There are those that are, well, rather destructive, but there are those that also wish to and strive to create. To generalize so swiftly without any real sort of dialogue or conversation will mean that you'll never know to be true. The people that have come before us probably had very, well, not everyone, but there are some that have come before us that have very
Nice save, so that
positive.
Avanazar didn't get dicked over here.
Yeah. There are also people that have come before us that have kind intentions, but you've turned them away without giving them a chance to explain themselves.
All right, might have leaned
We-
too hard into Avanazar there.
Oh,
He said some.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I was just, I get the not everybody, and then you know what? Actually, some people were really nice, and actually, you're a dick.
I wasn't saying that.
No, I'm just
That's an
making fun of it.
insane jump from what I
I'm
said.
making fun of it. Jesus.
I'm like, yeah,
You want to roll diplomacy on him?
yeah, sure, man. I'll roll fucking Prussians too, because I know my bonus to this shit.
Hey, man, fucking
I?
prescience nat 20. Yeah, did you want to assist already, Joe?
I mean, yeah, because I was talking before him.
Well,
Also,
yeah,
just
but
remember, if I had better charisma, I could have helped more. Because I am quite literally a class that is connected to nature.
Hey, cool. We'll take the 13.
Oh, that's enough.
all right, Joe, is this where you want to like step in and be like, all right, before you say anything, watch this, and you just
No,
plunk
yeah,
your
that's
thumb
when he
into the
finally
ground?
puts the seeds.
Yeah,
Yeah, you want
this
to put
is
the
Remember,
seed in the ground?
Joe said that he was talking first. Joe has already.
Yeah, I
already
was
said
more
something.
so helping him.
While
Yeah,
Wilfred was talking,
Yeah,
while
I know. It's just I didn't
Lance
ask
was
for
preparing
Joe's
the plans.
diplomacy
Can
because
I?
he narrowed his eyes and he was trying to see what Joe was doing. I was waiting for Joe to actually plant it.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, what basically happens with this natural 20 is this, as I'm planting this on the ground, I just cut the bottom of the bag that he's holding, and the shit starts falling onto the fucking seed. It's like, okay, now I can fucking do this. And it starts growing immediately because it's a magic seed.
Give me a
And magic
profession
fertilizer.
farmer.
Oh,
I mean, I can't do it in trained, I guess.
you have. Why not profession
Professions
farmer?
cannot.
Why profession farmer?
Can I do
It's a
nature?
It's a magic seed. No, just do profession farmer. If you don't have it, then I assume you make the minimum amount of stuff.
That's
I mean, yeah,
I mean,
you
that,
that's
can't
such
do
an
a train.
awkward thing to ask
yeah,
to have.
that would have
I'm
been
aware.
good to know beforehand.
That doesn't
Yeah.
matter. You wouldn't know in character because in game it was just a thing that you did. You planted it and you waited it and it grew.
David, we did all the
Knowledge
trainings.
nature would
No,
tell
no,
us
no,
what
no,
would
no.
happen.
Yeah,
Would it not?
We did all the trainings. Why the fuck
Well-
wouldn't I know?
the farmer would have told you plant it in the ground and it's like so. he actually has farmer classes as like levels.
I
So
know,
don't
but
think he would
we
explain.
did that.
What I'm saying is you don't know what you're rolling for, even though like there's a video game thing. You don't roll and go, "Oh, my profession farmer prompt." I'm just
No,
saying.
I understand, but no, but this is the thing. I can get cunning.
Okay,
There's shit I can do for this.
sure. Did you want to do that then during your week travel?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
This it would be then. So it'd be +8.
All right.
Uh, 4. Oh, actually, that's pretty funny because
All right. Then. Oh wait, which one's which?
it's so the first was me, the second one was Boba, because as he's helping me.
See, even
Man,
as a monkey helping him, of course he's connected to nature.
man, typical Joe making monkeys work the field.
Oh,
What happened to all the racism you got done at the beginning?
We
It came
looped
back.
back on when we hit
It
the
really
Jew,
is true.
When we hit the
David
when we
did
hit
have
the Jew
sex with
time,
her.
it was okay again.
It was on a 4-hour loop, Pat. We're back at the beginning.
So, anyways, Joe's planting would have only have sprouted him one cactus because it wasn't high enough. But with Bobo and the assistants, you'll start seeing it takes a couple of days for it to fully bloom, but in a matter of minutes, you'll start seeing a cactus bulb sprout out. And then, if you wait long enough, you'll notice that like two more are sprouting out at basically equal literal distance from one another to the center bulb. You planted one seed and you're growing 3 cactus.
Gaming.
Magic.
Yeah.
See?
Did you
Even
imagine
just
the
that good.
immediate? Did you imagine the immediate thing where you just plant the thing and he's just like, anybody can plant. What does this prove? And it starts blooming. He's like, whoa.
God damn.
Sometimes people are connected with the nature, and you just can't see it in the surface.
Give me a bluff, you big fat liar.
I mean, I am saying that, and I am connected to nature because I'm the shifter class.
I'll give you a confidence. I'll give you a confidence bonus.
I mean, he has the wild empathy. Last week.
No, I don't. I lost that because of other things.
he's the construct, he's the effigy thing. Doesn't even truly become
Okay,
an
how much is
enemy.
the competence?
I'm just gonna add it. It's just
He's
more
just
the fact
gonna-
that you're like, I get what you're saying, but it's like a very much a half truth what you're doing here.
Okay, so an 18.
Oh yeah, he's a construct. Of course he lost.
I'm not a construct. I have some traits that are similar.
He's a con man with that 18. God damn. All right, so Siriso is going. The others that you talk of that you want to bring here, are they also in tune with nature, such as this?
I cannot promise that all of them will be, but they are simply people that want to live with the land. It's like the capital is for too full, and people starting like not everything's enough for everyone. But if people manage to work with the land, work on the land and with the land, everyone can live comfortably. There's no need to harm nature. There's no need to do so.
We can coexist with nature.
Interesting, like some of the stuff you said, he could say no, so give me diplomacy. There's no way he's saying no. Your bonus is too fucking high.
Don't say that.
Nat 20 again.
Oh, what
Hey,
the
could you
fuck?
stop cheating? What
Joe,
the
you're on
hell?
fire today. I mean, most of us are. We got a lot of 20s today.
Hey Joe, why don't you roll again? Explosive dice, why not? Like you already beat it by like a bunch
that's
with the
still a 20,
39.
it's
At this
it's
point, you
just
might as
the
well.
result.
I was really curious if Joe's gonna roll another 20, so I could be like, "You're actually cheating."
In the end, it's actually a 6 if you.
All right, so with your fucking 39 or 60, it doesn't matter. Same result. Siriso's gonna go. Very well. Go bring them here, and I will see how they partake of the land. And he'll begin like stepping back into the mist, and it'll begin kind of fading away, and there's the Oasis there. Like he's not standing in your way anymore.
Mhm.
Also, it seems he just generates that mist. God damn, could you imagine having your own personal fog machine whenever you show up anywhere?
Yeah, I guess
Well,
it's
It's gonna be.
Yeah.
It must be really annoying when he fucking like drops one thing and then he can't find it because he's got fucking mist all around him.
He like
I
picks
would
up
be
a,
more
he
impressed
picks
if
up
he
a
had his own
papaya from
theme
one of the
music.
trees, lowers his scarf, takes a bite, spills the papaya. He's like, "Oh damn!" And he goes to bend over. He's like, "Where did it go?"
Oh fuck! Where'd I drop my staff?
no,
Can you imagine when he goes to have a meal, he sits down, it's like, well, where was the spoon?
you don't get it, David. If the
He
papaya,
goes to bathe. He goes to bathe in the Oasis waters. He stands up. Everything's censored from the mist. He starts looking like walking around the rocks, going, "Where the fuck are my clothes?"
no, if a papaya ever falls from his hands, he just looks down and is like, "Well, it's the sands now."
You're probably right. He'd be like, let you bloom into a beautiful new tree to sustain the future generations." Like, what a hippie.
Yeah. So I
In
guess
the land of sand, the 3-second rule doesn't exist.
I would say as soon as anything
No,
drops in the land of sand,
anything
as
you
soon as
have is
as soon as anything drops in the land of sand, it's the sands.
You said, I just imagine someone
immediately
drop. I
covered
know,
by
imagine
sand.
someone just dropping something, goes to pick it up, and just and creates in the sand, just grabs him like, no.
I guess when we go back to Ebenezer, we probably will have to convince them to basically try to gather the people that want to leave that have more of a green thumb.
All right. So,
Well, I mean,
what I
that would just
remember,
make sense to be able to bring people that are actually capable of taking care of themselves. Bringing a bunch of people who are used to working only for a paycheck and that's how they provide is dumb.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I'm saying specifically to also just bring people that know how to take care of the land.
Yeah. Before we resume rubber band music, are you just going straight back to the city then?
Was there anything here that we should take, like from what we know in game? I don't
I
think so.
mean, no. I mean, it turns into a small town later that you can do quests in, but no, it's just a place to visit.
You know, kind of just like do like a gesture of like goodbye kind of thing, like respectful goodbye, and then start leaving. Unless you guys want to go there, but
Everybody does their own gestures. Joe like waves goodbye. He's like, "This is a respectful form of goodbye where I'm from." And then Noel just fucking gives him the middle finger. Goes, "This is a respectful gesture of goodbye where I'm from."
It's a respectful gesture. Up yours.
So he just pulls a Rick and Morty joke. Got it.
Oh, you're right. That is a Rick and Morty joke. Oh
Yeah.
His
no,
brain
Can
is
we-
very large.
I'm
Can we
only
go
as
into the
funny
Oasis
as
yet?
I'm only as funny as Dan Harmon.
let's hope you don't
Hey,
treat
calm
women
down,
the
calm
same
down. There's
way.
no need for that.
Yeah, what's up, Steven?
Noel's like, can we go into the Oasis?
I mean, sure.
Woo!
Yeah, you guys just run into the Oasis, splash around a bit. You're like, "This is fun."
Guess I'll fill my water skin.
He might get mad at me.
I mean,
What I'm
yeah,
about to
actually,
do.
yeah, I could just take this chance to just refill on water.
Gets by the water's edge, eats the local bird. What are you doing?
Now piss into it.
Puts down his bag. Are you gonna fill your fucking haversack with water?
We
I think
just
he's going for the swim.
yeah, please do that instead of taking water.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
he's going to offer a swim.
man.
so
Eight
weird,
pounds
Chris.
of water isn't
Yeah,
that
was-
much.
I mean,
Why did he-
still, if he just started draining the fucking Oasis after you convinced him, where he's just
No,
like,
he gets
"All
the
right,
bag of
we're
holding
fighting.
and fills that.
We're fighting."
Yeah,
Only has a loincloth on.
yeah, I did think he was gonna just go on a swim, but as soon as you said that, David, you made me worry.
Yeah, me too. When I saw it puts down his bag, I'm like, "Don't you do it."
Just fill the fucking Type 3 bag of holding with water. If you
Dude,
won't
I'm
let us have
taking
the
this
Oasis.
to the water testing
Yeah.
facility to get it
Steven's,
tested.
Steven's like, "Well, we're about to do something called a pro gamer
Old
move."
cringe.
Oh, are you role playing a shark? A crocodile?
Yeah.
I'm actually curious about the thing, but I don't want to go.
I mean,
just-
I have
seen
a swim speed and a 17 swim. So
I guess
Alright,
I
now
just
someone get a
fucking
really long stick and poke him in the eyes.
yeah. I just
What? Jesus.
Oh,
I'll
now just
smack that
imagine
ass.
I mean, you'd probably take, but now just imagine I just do a cannonball on top of you and I transform into the dire tiger mid jump. You just
I'm
take a
just-
fucking boulder to the back.
I'm just waiting for Pat to be like, Vincent's gonna start chopping down one of the trees for wood.
I'm going to drop this vial of poison in the water.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Guys, this is null right now, you know.
chilling.
But yeah, I guess we can spend a few minutes just refreshing because it's hot as fuck. Then we can start refill the water skins and go back.
Anytime someone gets to the water's edge, I'm gonna get really close and get ready to snap at them just to fuck with them. Right now.
All right. Well, if you guys
Steven
are just
right now.
if you guys are dicking around in the Oasis, if you go around collecting fruit for whatever needs you might want, Siriso is just kind of around.
Is he gonna stop us from collecting fruit?
No,
No,
but
he's just watching.
if you take too much, I'm sure he will. I'm just referring more to the fact that you can see him just hanging around the area.
So
Like after
I
he did
get-
his little vanishing trick with the mist, like he's still just in plain sight in the forest for you guys. I don't know if you would call it a forest. It's just a bunch of trees. Palm tree forest. I believe the technical term for a bunch of Oasis palm trees is a tropical smoothie cafe. So
I mean, it's not, but
no fucking shit, Pat.
if it's just a bunch of palm trees and the only fruit we got are dates.
I mean, there are cactuses and stuff like you can, coconuts, dates, papayas.
Coconuts are not a fruit. Well, yes, they are.
They're a nut.
Yeah, Pat, you're a
No,
fruit at
they're
this
actually
rate.
not a nut. They are a fruit.
Oh yeah, they're a fruit.
They-
Yeah.
They are a stone fruit, and they have the biggest seed of any fruit.
Yeah, I was confused the part because the song starts with saying that it's a nut, but then only then do they go to it's not actually a nut. So I just forgot about it, that part.
No.
I'm fighting back. Terrible words escaping me. So, anyways, you guys are going back to the city then, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so you go to the thing, you stop at the cafe, Ebenezer comes up. He goes, and?
We did it. Mostly his worry about people is not people that go there that won't be able to give back to nature. So you'll need to select the people that can move there at least the start until you can get the order in there. But you will allow you to do so.
He's also probably going to stay around and watch because he's still very protective of the place. But as long as people don't start to actually destroy the balance of the
Yep.
nature there, he shouldn't do anything.
As long as you keep the natural order and give as much as you take, you will be fine. But yes, we will have to go with you just to prove that you are the people that we spoke of, but that is about it.
Is he against the construction of roads and houses?
Not if it, I mean, seeing as though it's sand, not if like you're taking down and not replanting the trees, but as long as you take care of the land and keep doing so that way, a good way to do so maybe is to bring some wood from the capital. That might help. Like not having because so that way you guys can start planting trees there to give
Yeah.
first before you take.
Well, most of our buildings are made of brick, but I'm referring more to the removal of some of the things there so that it's easier to access things like the lake.
Well, yes,
You want to
might,
remove the lake?
no, you
No,
have to
remove things on the way to the lake.
Oh, okay.
Well, you probably
Yes.
will be able to do so. It's simply work with him. Just find out his points. You can probably move a tree. You like it is the sandy desert, and while there might be some rock, you can move a tree over if he feels too strongly about it. But if you first plant more trees for the tree that you're taking, and then you fully utilize the tree, I don't think that you will mind a lot. It simply is worried that people existing will shift to only use nature instead of giving back.
Well, I'll go speak to some of our possible immigrants that specialize in production, and we'll go see to this soon enough. And if you want, what happens is broom, 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 broom. Some time passes, and then you go walk down there with like a group of like 80 people ready to settle a new city. Broom, 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 broom. And you go up to Siriso, and he just looks at Avanazar, and he just goes, "You, did I not tell that your people are undeserving?" And then you guys show up, and broom, 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 broom. Fucking, I'm skipping so much stuff because it's. I assume well, I might not. Maybe shouldn't skip talking to Siriso because I was about to say I assume you guys just know dialogue options to just win conversations at this point. But
Eh?
you guys also like you guys also like pestering him. So
I mean, that's the thing. First thing when we enter, we just grab and Vincent, and we put them to the side.
yeah, no, all Joe has to do is Joe has to go up and goes, "You already promised us." It just says 40 diplomacy underneath.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, kind of the point is
Also,
yeah,
these are the people that I was talking about that you turned away before without giving them a chance.
all like, but as we're on the travel, David, already we have the remaining fucking seeds to Abanazar's. Like, this is like, it's not going to trick, but these are magical seeds. Just also
This is
plant.
this is like crack for that elf.
Yeah. No, just also have your people for on plant them, like just as a thing to add to the Oasis instead of take, to that effect. At least give you a better first impression.
All right. I mean, during the travel, Ebenezer like clenches his fist, holding the seeds and shake, like nod, like it looks good for the montaging. And
Mhm.
at the end, as people are beginning to like talk about how like they're asking Siriso like, "Can I move this here?" And Siriso goes, "Absolutely not." I'm like, okay, what if we build a house over here? And Siriso's like, "I don't like that." And they're like, "Okay, what if it's just a little bit for like just all that's happening in the background?" Siriso being like, "I don't like people building things, and you just you promised." Um,
Building is
gonna,
adding to nature.
yeah. Avanazar's gonna go. Well, you did prove me and myself wrong. You do seem quite ordered for your appearances. I believe we could
What the
work in the
fuck's
future.
that?
We already did this last time. Stop fucking doing
Vincent,
it.
Every time Vincent talks, what Avanazar here is just like, "What do you mean they want to move the lake there, boss?" And you're just like, "No, no, Billy, they don't want to move the lake." It's like, "Oh, gee, okay." And then when you when this just happened, like, what do you mean? Abenazar's hearing wise guy, eh? Like he's just viewing you as the goon of the party.
Wise guy. A
as
boss.
I said, we all have our specialties.
Yeah. So Ebenezer does a respectful kind of bow, and he goes, "If there's any future work you'd like to acquire for me, I'd be even willing to pay you for it from now on."
Oh, that is fair. We did show up out of nowhere and just be a service.
Well,
So
yeah.
we did have
Also, when you were talking about proving yourself, you never settled about like payment, so you
Well,
just
no,
said
it's
that.
fine.
Yeah, no, I know. It's just like he's thinking that he's just like, "Oh, I've tricked you, but in a friendly way because we've established I will hire you now for whatever nonsense you want."
Yeah, this was to build a rapport.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you do not
Yeah.
level up.
Yeah. I was
This game
fairly.
sucks. No.
Well, we. And this might explain a bit of your thoughts of us. But if we're not around, we would probably mostly be in safe haven. That's where we reside most of the time. That's we're not going to new lands.
Interesting.
Well,
You still reside at Safe Haven? Given what you were doing, I sort of assumed that you had finished doing any of dangerous leveling, and You're now focusing on trying to find a stable job, making use of your superior level the most. And then he squints at you like he actually tries to assess you for the first time. You're all in private, I assume.
I would undo the private mode to show him, like,
I'm
yeah,
not
no.
private.
As he
Assume I'm
sees
never private.
as he sees the level 4 David, and as he looks at us, is like, as I said, we're very good at our jobs.
We're also still looking for a way to settle down, as it were. We just like doing things in between our stints at the dungeon.
I mean, yeah, constant dungeon diving is not good for one's health.
I like to see the
Actually-
world as it is.
Actually, what I rolled was just enough to pull a name. I didn't even get a race. So I just pulled a name from you guys and I stop. I don't go any further.
God damn it.
That's kind of funny.
Mm-hmm. Depending on who he chose, it's even funnier.
It'd probably be Joe, because he's the one that's been talking the most. Which is still
Yes.
weird, because your name just says Maestro.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just more the fact that, like, whatever things he's been talking to you about and everything, he can confirm that you actually weren't even lying about that. Like, he was trying to be like, what is your backstory? Maestro. And he just stops going, they don't lie.
I'm sorry, David. When you said they don't lie, I'm looking at my plus 17 or plus 21 bluff, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I mean,
to
I
be
got
f-
you.
To be fair, it's not like he said that
They
out
don't
loud.
lie. They could, but they don't.
Alright. Well, Abenazar asks if you want to help with the construction.
Well, we won't be here for long, but we can help a bit. We'll need to start.
I mean, what do you want to do here? Or do you just really want to, like, try and rein Siriso in? And Siriso's just like, are they building a house 30 feet outside of the forest?
It's probably
Oh,
the mixture
that
of things
wrong.
that we can do.
Let me get up. Let me bite a chunk out of that head.
I'm probably talking to Siriso about the wonders of fucking farming and how it functions to let the land rest.
I'd probably just be helping with the fucking logistics of building shit.
I don't
can't
know.
actually carry
I
things.
instead continue crafting some alchemy supplies.
Damn,
I mean,
Pat,
they have to carry
you've been
material to
walking.
different places.
There's been 3 weeks of downtime or something just now. You're making even more stuff? Dangerous.
I don't have master alchemist, so I craft it slow.
Oh yeah, Pat. Here. A handband of wisdom.
Yay. Wait,
Can you
I
now
can't
understand?
afford that, by the way.
Oh, it wasn't the 2000?
No, I didn't have 2,000 to spend. I was just asking if you could. So when I get enough money,
How much do you have?
1,000.
You have a headband. Ooh.
I'll add the magic
now-
ladder.
I now assume I don't have 1,000.
Yeah,
Me
I also-
want oh
I also-
headbands?
I also
Watch
don't
as
have
I
a...
turn this 1,000 gold into nothing.
Do you want a headband, Steven?
Uh-huh.
Then here, also one for you.
What's going on here?
No,
Joe,
just
I
for
need
the
a belt
down.
too.
Yeah. Do you have the money for it?
Yeah.
A belt as well. Then no, Jason. I was just for the downtime of us going in the desert. It's just me on the fucking top of Noel's head, just fucking crafting a thing.
You goddamn right. I got you right there.
He has a
Actually,
smooth.
hold on.
He has a smooth crocodile head, so he can just craft on.
Okay.
Wait,
Any chance
hold
I can
on.
get you to make me a headband and a belt?
Yeah.
Wait, that's actually no, like isn't the belt is 2,000. Isn't the headband the same?
Yeah.
They're both
Yeah.
2,000 craft cost.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
the
why I
craft-
asked if you had 4,000.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm
Okay,
just gonna
my
get a
bad.
belt.
Okay, so
Yeah,
just
I'm
the
just
belt.
gonna take the belt too. That's my bad.
Yeah, I'll make you guys the belts then.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
Yeah. So I just imagine being But for the circle itself, I just think it's funny because like I give the handman 2 patches. Like, do you see how much of a dick you're being? Did the extra point of wisdom help you figure it out?
And then my extra wisdom goes like, I need to craft more if we're going to go to the hive.
No, that's fair. That's pretty wise.
Because it's not just for me, it's for everyone.
Even a stopped clock is right twice a day.
It's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not. Because you would need a working clock to figure that out.
That's okay, Pat.
That's
Like
an insane thing to say.
whenever someone knows that something's right or not, it can be right.
Just because we
No.
don't have another way to measure that it's right at a specific time doesn't mean it isn't right.
Okay,
It
that's
means you can never know that it's right.
David,
What do you mean?
Yo,
Kingston shoots crack.
okay.
If you only have the broken clock,
Uh-huh.
you'll never know if it's actually right or not twice a day because you don't have another way to tell time to see if it's right.
So
Of
there's
course
a
I
sun.
do. I existed for 24 hours. It was right at least twice during that.
Doesn't matter.
Also,
Okay,
there's the sun.
Oh, look at the
does-
sky. Sun is
A
out. This
broken
is saying
clock is just as useless as anything else that's broken.
Like you, fool.
I'm a broken
Rude.
man, Tails.
He didn't say whether or not it was useless, just that it was right twice a day.
yeah, you can be right and still be useless.
So Pat
No,
is like
it's dumb.
so. Vincent is like a broken clock. He's broken most of the time, but he hits twice a day.
Ouch.
I can't believe you guys are so rude.
Pat,
I said
You're-
a very reasonable thing and then you attacked it
yeah,
immediately.
you're the one that can't be saying this shit.
So,
Yeah, go ahead, David.
down. Some more time passes as you guys are helping construct the place. It's starting to look a bit like the town of Oasis. Do you actually want to stick around here for the entire time of rebuilding it, or did you want to, like, leave?
Probably skedaddle.
Yeah, we'd stay a few days just to give an initial end and to help them understand how to communicate with Siriso.
Alright, I was almost waiting to see you guys like, actually, we're going to wait here until they build a teleport gate. I don't want to stand over, I don't want to walk through the desert again.
How long would it? Actually, hold on. How long would that take?
They
That'd
have
be
to.
the first thing that they start building, though.
Yeah, that probably should be the first thing they start building because they have to transport supplies. You're right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess you could take as soon as the gate is built near the oasis, you guys could be like, all right, we're out. You just start putting the coin in and leaving. The fucking 19 wizards that took to build this thing are just like, yeah, we're also out. They start putting coins in and leaving. Like, isn't
How
it
long
fucked
did
out?
how long did we spend here?
You mean in total?
In the Oasis itself, not the 3 weeks traveling.
I mean, Ebenezer probably had to go back and get the wizards, so a week and a half.
Okay.
I can't imagine construction takes too long when you have a bunch of wizards getting the dungeon magic teleport to start functioning. Like, we're
Yeah.
talking like a ritual. And then the actual construction is done by like 80 people. Like, it should be made fairly fast.
I spent that week and a half crafting vermin repellent.
Alright. What about the other weeks of going back and forth?
I managed to make 7 Lidric essence doing the 3 weeks traveling. I
To-
can't make as many of those.
To build a rapport with Siriso, I've probably been playing a lot of life budding and salted earth around.
Yeah,
Like,
could you imagine Siriso's just like, what a beautiful piece. Play it again.
maybe, just look at him. Maybe I will.
You're just playing for the third time and you're going like looking at Noel going, he's draining my rounds. Alright. I assume you guys TP back to Save Haven.
Sure.
Yeah, I guess it's time for the Hive to get his ass kicked. Or what was after this in the main story?
Um,
Land of
a,
mountains.
a dwarf runs into you and then invites you to the land of mountains.
Wow, that's really weird.
Well,
What
in the
would we
game, it would
do?
just be like the next time you enter Safe Haven, he would be there amongst the NPCs, and then most people go,
courier's
"Oh,
there.
what the hell is this new thing?" And they'd walk into him, and he'd go, "Hey, stranger, have you ever been to the land of mountains, home of the dwarves? It's a great tourist destination. Come over here." And then, as soon as you get teleported over there through fucking video game magic, you're entered into a combat with shadow giants.
So
Jesus.
I assume the best thing to do then is just to wait until we hear rumors about shadow giants in the land of the mountains.
Maybe, I mean, to be fair, if you look at Dustin's sheet, I think it says in here, a forced sequence of invading dark giants attack the mountain city. After the player fights them off, they can accuse Dustin of trying to trick the player to help, in which he would admit he did intentionally not inform the player of this.
So
Okay, so there is a chance that he may actually show up to try and recruit
Yeah.
people as a,
so
I guess not so much recruit, but
The
as a.
I
The
will.
dwarf fucking shows up and hands us a letter. It's fucking,
Yeah.
You don't even have to
So-
wait for Dustin to show up, though. You guys could just make the trek to the mountains.
Yeah, I'm also
yeah, but
just
we'd
thinking.
probably get our asses kicked by
Yeah,
the guys
I
up
was-
there.
Yeah, the thing
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
also
do you-
trying to think.
Do you know what a shadow giant is? It's like a CR-13. It's dangerous.
Woo!
Oh, then yeah, let's not go there.
All
I
right,
guess.
hey, we need to get some levels before
I mean,
that.
we
Yeah,
might be
looking
able
at
to
my level,
fight
like, yeah,
one.
let's
Now,
It-
let's
I
start the
was-
dungeon a bit.
Well, see, that's Pathfinder meta knowledge. In game, you'd probably know them as like level 100 somethings, which you have
Yeah.
no idea how the scale works anymore.
This is the thing.
How high
like,
was
I just thought
Jules'
of this is like hill giants are the weakest giant, actual true giants, and they're CR5. And I'm looking at this like that's not good.
Jules' level was always the maximum level of every update until after a while, where they said, actually, we're going to stop it at like 800 or something as you outlevel him because you're supposed to be fighting things that not even he could fight at that point. You know, like that kind of stuff where, you know, NPCs or special NPCs are given, oh, he's special, so he's always the max level, and when we increase the cap, he just automatically gets those 20 levels. And then at a certain point, they went, actually, now the players are even stronger than him. That's basically what happened.
I see.
That was big when it came out.
That was big. Yeah, that's probably because you started fighting like, let's see, 800. That was probably
the gods.
off the numbers. Yeah, that was. I still think the first god, the Rakshasa one, I keep forgetting his name, Ravana. I think he would have been in level range, but let me check the dungeon real fast. Fucking, I'm stupid. I don't know why I'm going down the dungeon boss list. When I can just go in the
Is it-
Demon folder.
Is it when we entered hell?
Yeah, that's about right, actually. Damn, you got that faster than me, because I was trying to be like, where's, like, floor some 600 something?
Nah, that's 500. That's the start of the 500s.
Oh, then, yeah, actually, it's more like the end of hell. So I guess it should be like,
What do you mean the end?
it should be like, in video game lore, Jules killed Satan and then stopped.
So
Oh, that actually, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because the next boss immediately is Logi right there. Granted, if you fucking highlight it, you'll see what that actually says, but don't.
Oh, sorry. You can't just say known as I'm doing.
Well, it's because I've mentioned multiple times that it's not actually Logi, because if you read things, he's not actually a dungeon boss. He shows up in the dungeon, and then when you fight him, shenanigans start occurring. It's just fake Logis. I've already mentioned he has shadows.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is a shadow.
Yeah, well,
That's
everyone's got a
nothing special.
shadow. Sounds like a very Sesame Street thing.
That's not true, Kieran. You're making fun of the people with the fucking.
Yeah, well,
with that
they're weird and they
drawback.
know it.
How dare you?
That's why they're persecuted. For
It's-
entirely reasonable reasons.
I believe. Yeah, it's Umbral. No, it's not this one. Oh yes, Umbral unmasking.
Yeah.
It is weird. I agree with you, but you don't need to say that.
But But yeah, so we are basically going to do a dungeon a bit, because
Yeah, that's fair.
which
So
I
you
guess
guys-
if that's the case, I'm going to need the Maestro to get me the Swarm Bane.
Tell you what, only Kieran would recognize the person, so only Kieran can give you the perception check.
Oh boy. Well, only
Like if
Kieran is
anyone else
also
sees this,
going
they
to be
they
present.
just see their little apprentice girl with like some random rope dude, and you like wave hello or something. I don't see. I'm punishing the metagame that I've revealed here.
You know
So,
I'm
yeah.
gonna use prescience.
us for something you did.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
What's my fucking perception? Oh, it's
Let me
okay.
let me be unreasonable as once. Jesus, yeah. Scriven Seer, you see the little Olivia. You know her name. You see Olivia. She's with one of the archivist boys as he's basically like dragging her. Like she's sadly like following him.
Oh no. Ugh.
What? Assuming we are together, I think we're
You hear him say, like what?
yeah.
That kid is a kidnapper.
I look towards where I assume you're looking.
Well, no, you know what we do to kidnappers.
You see a like Olivia following behind a generic looking dark wizard. Like he's just like a monk that dyed his fucking uniform black. You know what I mean?
A dark wizard.
You know,
He
Is it the
said kidnapping.
So an edge lord.
yeah, hood up kind of thing.
Is he the one that kidnapped you, Wilfred?
That was incredibly fast.
That was also not something that I think I told.
Wait, you never said?
I
Actually?
don't think I ever told any.
No, you did not.
Oh, sorry. We talked about
Wait.
it so much that I thought you had mentioned. Never mind then.
But even in character, if he said he got kidnapped by people, like why would you just go? He's the one that kidnapped you. Like, wow,
Oh, I'm
that
asking.
was.
I mean, he mentioned he was a kidnapper, so it's a thing like. I think it's fair to assume that if he knows a kidnapper, it's probably the one that kidnapped him.
I
He's
would
just using
just-
Because they're
context
not
How
listed
do
as-
you know that?
It
Personal
was also
experience.
months ago.
I mean, but that's the thing.
You were kidnapped?
Yes.
Why? Okay.
Why didn't
Should we do
hear?
something about it then?
I mean, he's generous.
I'm already going over.
Okay, we should probably
Yeah,
go with Null just so he doesn't kill him.
It is also the
Actually-
case that the guy's level 5, so.
Level 5, level schmive. You
mean, we're
can catch
5.
these hands.
Well,
I
mean,
cast
just-
fists.
You're not gonna like it if you touch him. He's gonna paralyze you.
I look at it. I mean, I look at Noah as like, well, if Noah hits him first, I think he might be the one getting paralyzed.
Yeah, I don't like that option either.
Oh, I
don't
know.
want to
That's
maim a child.
Wait, what?
Is he a
I
child?
don't. Yeah.
doesn't look too old.
No.
I mean,
I mean, he needs to be at least
how,
older
how
than
old
Olivia,
do
right?
you think a child is?
Under 18.
No.
No, that's teenager area. Also, I'll
Okay.
assume he's at least
What you
older
doing to
than
little what you
her.
know?
I mean, by the very logic, she's not a child either.
In this world, they're pretty much adults now. If
Yeah,
he
but-
if he made the conscious decision
All right, so
and the ability to have kidnapped you, I don't think his childlike innocence is still there.
Steven, you walk up and you like grab him by the shoulder, I assume, or something. Like, what are you doing to grab his attention? Because you're going up from behind him.
Just go blam.
You just shout like, "What are you doing to the little witch girl?" The one that's following him, might I add.
I do want to speak up, but as he says that, I kind of like my character just shut up because he wants to see the face of that guy as soon as he like looks back.
Yeah, I definitely would do the hand on the shoulder thing, so I'm probably
Okay.
gonna get fucked up for this.
All right, so
Hey, buddy.
as you put your hand on the shoulder and you can someone, you're like, "What are you doing to the little witch girl?" First, you see this like through under the hood, this lanky man with like zits and like square rim glasses that you can't see through because the glare is so thick. And immediately he's going to give you a little poke. What's your touch AC?
It's just
Bad
12.
decision.
Come over here.
Give me 4.
Are you within 10 feet of me?
No.
Wait, hold on.
Probably
Probably
not.
not.
Isn't that a stance?
No, it just
Is
has
what-
an aura that gives bonus, supposedly.
Yeah, as long as you're within 10 feet of me, you get +1 AC and +1 will saves.
I mean, I assumed he wasn't
I mean,
because he
it's
walked
neither.
up
Yeah,
to
this was
the
a
guy.
fart.
I assumed he
Yeah, I
walked
mean,
up
he
to the
walked
guy.
off first.
Yeah.
I mean, if you walked with him, where you're like, hold on, I gotta try and be between everybody, like that's you.
Nope. Probably was not even paying attention until he heard, "Hey, what are you doing, little witch girl?"
What the fuck?
Give me
The
a
rest
fort,
was
Steven.
Fuzz was busy talking with Wilfred, so
Yeah, I
Hold
just wasn't
on.
sure how close he was. That's all.
That counts as that's an attack, right?
Yes.
It is only a 12.
The touch attack.
Let me just I use I've been waiting to use this.
I mean, to be fair, it does just look like he was touching you.
Yeah, I know, but this is
also
great though.
technically it was a bit
I
less
use
because-
intimidating force. I essentially intimidate him into just putting his fucking finger down. It's a actual thing. As long as it exceeds your fucking attack. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not using a charge for this.
You didn't never did it, so yeah.
All right. So as he goes to poke you, because he's like, lizard, and then just before he touches you, you go, you touch me, I break it, and you just go, all right.
I didn't say okay.
I like to follow that. I need to get my intimidate higher soon. I'm gonna get that the whatchamacallit, for strength to intimidate soon.
Oh, intimidating prowess.
Yeah. All right.
Well, Steven types.
He's
but he
like,
doesn't
I
care.
ask again, friend.
There you go.
What are you doing?
I'm going to elaborate on the weird naming conventions of this world and everything. So I don't want you to be too grossed out when he's calling her, like, he's doing the Chan prefix on this, which isn't just supposed to go, ho ho, he's a weeb. It's supposed to go that he's
Oh
being
no,
a little-
that's because this is a Japanese game.
Yeah, exactly. So, but it's more the fact that he's being a little too familiar with her, because it's like Chan is something you'd say to people you know and not like random strangers. Granted, she's younger than him, and some people do that to kids, but they also do coon, blah blah. That's not what we're getting into. It's more the fact that he does that, and he also says Olivia rather than Crotus or whatever the fuck her name was. I could go look it up. I don't care.
Or Desire.
So he's calling her by the first name An Chan, implying some close connection, and he prefixes all of that with run, like run away, save yourself, and she'll just like head slumps, like start walking away rather than running. She's like, I'm gone.
It just
I
be
guess
like this. Noel goes, Olivia, that's your name? Oh yeah, we never did. I never did learn
We
your
did
name.
ask.
No, we
He did.
We never
ask.
did learn a name, did we?
We did.
God
She's
damn.
like, why are you running? I'm not doing anything.
We never did learn her name. It just cuts to every time she answers the name and followed by everyone going, I forgot. Especially that one time where she's just like, did I tell you my name? I forgot. Just everyone's forgetting. At least me and Steven are. To be fair,
Yeah.
Kieran, I didn't hear you.
I told her.
ask.
Oh, but I did tell her. I go. Why are you running away? I'm not doing anything.
She's not really running, she's walking.
Yeah,
but
she's not really running, but she's also not gonna look.
She's-
I'm not
Just
doing
just
anything.
look up. I'm like, look.
And then the wizard is gonna go, don't you take your evil deeds on that little innocent Olivia Chen. I will fight you off. And then he tries to poke you again, but it's like he's not doing like the underhanded thing he was gonna do before, where he was like gonna poke you in your sternum, like under your like vision of your eyes. He's doing like right between your eyes, like you could just bite his fucking finger. Man has no combat abilities.
Why are we beating up the edgelord guys?
I'm not beating him up. I'm
Apparently
just gonna move. I'm gonna go over to Olivia and be like, are you all right? Because you do
I'm-
not seem all right.
I'm
What is your
touching
relationship with this embarrassing fucking person?
I'm touching you.
Steven still gets a save.
Steven still gets a save.
What is
I
it?
think
Fort?
this is the point
he
at least
was
Mike
being
gets to
touched.
start walking up to see
It's
the fuck is
Fort.
happening.
How high is it?
Why
Just
you don't know?
roll.
Roll.
You'll find
Alright.
out.
Oh
It's
god
not-
damn it!
It's
It's
not
not
11.
higher
Huh?
than that.
Yeah.
It's not 11.
Let me just roll this here because this was. Oh my god, everything went well here. All right, so he pokes you and you slump to the ground. And he just goes, oh, yeah, oh yeah, oh that felt good. That felt really powerful. I'm turning into bum hand here.
Yeah. But yeah, this is around the
so-
point where
Yeah.
I would start to step up.
Yeah. So the nerd
Okay,
is going.
what-
Let,
Hold on,
let that be a
no,
let that be
hold
a
on.
lesson to you, evil lizard folk, that you just cannot come into safe haven where it is a haven and safe. If you want to go around
Not that
bothering
you embarrassing child.
you embarrassing child, like, people are looking at this like, what happened? It's like, I think somebody just took out a lizard with a single poke. You go up and stop it, you embarrassing child. He just goes,
Is it?
oh, hey. And he opens up Archivist and he scrolls through something and he goes, Wilfred?
I look at him as like, did you really use your limit rig in someone on the street?
It's not the first time. It's probably not.
Did this
even been
person
the
really
last time.
kidnap you?
Yes.
She's still walking away because you're asking her, is this person really kidnapped you? He goes, wait,
No,
I
I
didn't
was asking
kidnap
Wilfred.
him. I invited him to join an exclusive club. Yeah. And the idiot said no. I mean, he also did some other mean things, but that's not important right now. What's it doing?
Well,
I
I
like
Hype
did.
Wilfred.
me up.
How did he invite you?
He poked me
tied
when
me
I
up.
wasn't looking.
We could
Well,
talk
he did
about
you
this all day. I've got to go find my apprentice.
No.
She ran somewhere away from the evil lizard. You should go
No,
find
no.
the guard and arrest him. And
Hey.
he's like starts walking
He's not an
over.
evil wizard.
I look at him as like,
Lizard.
no.
How long does this
just
thing
used-
last?
You
Oh,
just use your
I
limit.
rolled 8 hours.
Jesus.
Yeah, you just used your limit rig on our party member. You're coming with us to the guard.
He attacked me first. It was totally
He
fine.
talked to
Yeah,
you because
no,
we
he
were
didn't.
told you were a kidnapper and you're walking around with the child that we met a few weeks ago.
I'm going to have him roll diplomacy real fast, not on you people, but he's going to start screaming, help, help, and being accosted. He starts running down the street. I don't know what you guys want to do.
Can I just
Sir,
Can I
that
just-
is a blow.
can I just grab him and keep him in place?
Okay,
No, he'll touch you.
I was gonna say, do you actually want to try and grab him? Because consider he is screaming for help. Like, there's gonna be a scene happening here.
I guess I will scream louder.
Counter spell him.
You think you can
counter-song him.
outscream a bard? Come at me!
He's counter-songing his scream.
Yeah. I'm sure that has the language dependent part.
I just was this freaking man is like, this man assaults my party member and runs away from the guard.
But yeah, I'm mostly just going to grab him, trying to have him, I guess, sit down against the wall kind of deal, so he doesn't have much place to move. As we wait for guards, I guess. Or
I was
however
gonna
the fuck
say,
this
as
develops.
both people are screaming for the guards, we're just gonna like bam with like the cutscene of like snippets cutting, but like slideshowing of the Flailer twins showing up and just dogpiling both party members.
As we're waiting for people, I start streaming for a second. It's like, you guys understand that we're gonna have to pay our tuition now.
I'll
we're
pay
gonna-
it, fuck it.
Yeah, because
so-
we're arresting you.
Everyone's in handcuffs. The guards are just hands in the head going, someone please explain this quietly. And he's just going, all you got to do is get Olivia Chan and you can prove it. It's like, who the fuck is Olivia Chan?
I can explain what has happened.
Sadly, his student.
Yeah.
And
Yes, please could you explain? He goes, don't listen to the and lick your hand.
So
Well,
this guy's going to jail and we're going to pay a tuition.
I
Not how I
am-
expected this to end.
Dude,
I'm
the
sorry
fucking
for-
man, the male twin that's holding the man's mouth shut so you can speak. He's so tempted just to go.
I'm sorry for the commotion that we caused, but he was
You think we can bribe him just to do it?
when he says
Just let the
biting.
Joe finish this time.
When he says biting, he means the guy that we're trying to get arrested would bite the hand. So no, I don't think we can.
Don't worry, we don't need to bribe anyone. He's already fucking himself over.
Yeah. So
No,
We-
he said he's tempted to like snap
Oh.
his neck.
Okay, don't worry. Wilfred has contacts. We can hire an assassin.
That's the guard's internal model. That's the people who have good sense motive. They can see it through his like little silly helmet. What is this helmet called again? It's like the kind that just is a cylinder.
Yeah, well,
I
think we had
was
this
literally
discussion
just making a
about
joke.
It's a bucket helm.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
okay,
had this
so yeah,
discussion months ago.
you can see through like the visor and his bucket helm, like you're staring right into his eyes, and you can tell he's like thinking like, all it would take is one movement.
Yeah, I look at him.
Meanwhile,
Well-
you just hear.
Oh no! Oh no! I fell. Crack.
Oh no, the saliva has made my grip slippery, and he just breaks his neck with the other hand.
Yeah.
I go over to our lazy lizard now.
Yeah, I'll let you heal check him awake.
I'm just going like, you okay?
I guess meanwhile, what were you going to say, Joe? Or was just doing the
I'll-
explanation?
Yeah, I'll just explain that we heard that
Are you
he's.
talking to me, Pat? By the way,
You're the only lizard here that has become.
I didn't hear
unintentionally-
lizard.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yes. You are now the lazy lizard. It's not your fault you're lazy, but you're lazy.
Fucked up.
Yes,
Continue,
Joe. What?
you asked.
They can do heal check to get me back up or not?
Yeah, I just said he could.
All right,
Sounds
sweet.
All right, you're gonna be like dizzy and out of it, but you're conscious. It's like, you ever get electrocuted, Steve?
Yes.
He has experience.
So yeah, you're
You okay,
you're
buddy?
awake. You're just not like in tip top form.
Well, Joe, go on.
I'll simply explain to guards that we've heard that this man wasn't and on the up and up, as I kind of explained the first meeting he had with Wilfred, or at least everything Wilfred told us. And then as our friend went to check if the child was okay, he paralyzed him and then started screaming that he was the one that assaulted him. And now he is resisting arrest, I see.
All right. So one of the male twin Mace goes, all right, like not for nothing, but you are a lizard. Like I kind of understand why he did that.
Well, yes, but when we explained that he was simply a party member, he insisted, and then started try to run, and simply saying that we were he assaulted him.
All right, and then Mace like looks down at the guy that he's holding and goes, "Is this right?" And he forcibly shakes the man. And he goes, "Well, in that case, you're gonna have to come and answer some questions at the station." And just sucks and starts.
I love these
dragging him.
guards, man.
Yeah, I like them as well.
Yeah,
Safety.
they're just like they basically. And Jen goes, "Yeah, again, sorry for that. Welcome to Safe Haven." She starts walking off after Mace.
Sorry for the trouble.
I mean, the guards are apologizing to you because it's like, yeah, you got attacked in our city. Our job is to defend you. Whoops.
Yeah, I'm just going out in the plot well, technically it did cause the problem, so it's also the thing of
No, like,
It's
man.
the
No
mutual
was like,
story
fuck,
part.
all right.
Well,
He started this fight months ago.
I like that Mace was just like, you are a lizard, and then you guys are like, yeah, but he's an asshole. And Mace is like looking at his like the saliva dripping from his hands, like, you are right about that.
You know what's
he's
great
like,
about that?
no, ain't even mad. I know I'm a lizard, so I'm gonna have a little bit of a harder time. That guy's still an asshole, though.
You know what's
And
great
that's
about
not
this entire
changing.
scenario?
I didn't play on hard difficulty.
Yes,
the
Jason?
fucking turbo nerd is just like, your hand tastes very familiar of metal.
Yo.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's the kind of guy who licks nickels.
Yeah, Jason.
Anyway,
You
what's great
smell
about
like
this?
nickels.
God damn it, Pat.
What's great about this entire scenario is that guy is too stupid not to narc on his friends.
Oh, I
Yeah,
know
it's
one
part of
reason.
a
He's like,
secret
I didn't do it
society.
alone. I had the help of these 4 guys.
Could you fucking imagine if they're like, you fools better release me from these confines, lest the secret club of infinite knowledge come after you? I'm sorry, and who are these people, and where are they at, and how weak are they to arrows?
Well, I'm the strongest among them.
Oh,
Okay,
what?
say no more.
Could you imagine that guy being like, we are impervious to arrows, and then
Oh.
and then the alchemist, the alchemist guy just pulls up his gun.
Good. I don't use any arrows.
No, let me pay at least off of that.
All right, so you guys
So
don't have
put
any.
150 back.
You guys don't have any jail fees. Let's go thank to the fact that Joe is unstoppable right now.
Yeah. Who's
Bard
Joe's
powers.
Yell
unstoppable.
louder.
as we approach
I love Bard Joe.
That's such a power move. Imagine if someone actually did this in real life, and then the gang members that were surrounding the nerd goes, "Help! Help! Police! This nerd is assaulting me!"
He's like, what? No, no.
Like you guys are a bunch of Hell's Angels looking motherfuckers compared to this dude. Could you imagine?
But that's what we are, so it's okay.
We like the Angels part, but we have
I would be scared
if
if like a bunch of bikers came at me and I'm like, "Help! Police! Somebody help!" And then one of the bikers went, "Help! Police! The sumo wrestler is attacking me!"
You know, in the defense, I mean, Hell's Angel are known for like protecting kids that have been like attacked and stuff on occasion.
Yeah, they're also known for selling.
I mean, not
copious
everyone
amounts
in
of
a
cocaine.
biker gang needs to be bad.
To
Many
be
of them
fair,
are
No,
David,
not cocaine. Meth.
we
Okay.
do sell magic food.
Yeah, you want some magic food, boy? I got some minnows right
That's
here.
not Santa. That's a Hell's Angel.
David, this
What do you,
this year
what
is
do you
some
want?
this
Meth?
is some magic
Okay.
coca leaf.
Harriet would float the idea that she could try and sell the Goblin Skull Bomb to make tuition for you. So yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
People don't
but yeah,
have
we
to
can
spend
give the
money
money
on
and
that.
then sell it.
We could do that. We could give the money and then sell it. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
also
either
fine with
way.
just losing out. I'm fine with losing out a little bit of money. It doesn't matter to me. I'm almost monk-like build, so I'm kind of good anyway.
Well, yeah, I'm
This-
just saying it's a way that
And
we
I'm
can
lucky.
fucking use the money
Okay,
or
so
use the
let's-
thing because otherwise this thing's
This
never
is
gonna be
all
used.
funding for a future cohort. It's worth it.
Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, level
We-
7, baby. Leadership.
Let's do this. I sell the bomb, and the extra 100 just goes for relieving fees or whatever she has.
What's
Okay.
going on here?
We're
They're
selling
selling-
Goblin.
They're
Skull
selling the
Bomb to
Goblin
buy it.
Skull Bomb.
And
Oh,
I think
giving
that would kill one of us if we threw it.
yeah, and basically
That's fair.
giving the money to her is like, we fucked up. We sent you to someone weird. Get your ass to school.
Get your ass to a
Alright.
real school. Also, here's
Alright.
money for whatever materials.
Olivia's gonna give you like a
Choke
coin
on a
purse and goes,
motherfucking
give
cheese
this back to this guy before he tracks me down for not giving it back. And,
That's fair.
And thanks, and she'll skedaddle off because after this, she doesn't exactly want to be seen right next to you because she has this weird notion like people are going to associate her with you or something. I don't get kids like they're like, oh, you give them all this stuff and then they don't want to be seen around their parents. Like,
She'll grow.
Well, don't worry. In a few years,
Yeah.
she'll come to realize that we're sick as hell.
in a few
Especially when we
years,
go,
yeah,
to floor 600.
in a few years, she'll join our party. Let's say 4, and then
Yeah,
It's
when
not
it's
that
no
kind of
longer
party.
strange.
In,
when it's,
in a
when it's
few,
no longer strange, a hot 18-year-old girl fresh out of wizard school, a bunch of 30-year-old men, perfectly legal here.
To be fair, according to my stat sheet, I'm still only 9 years old.
don't
Yeah,
say
according to my stat sheet, I'm only 20.
Yeah, if anything, she's the one in the wrong.
I mean, yeah, she's older than me, technically.
that. Don't. So no, there's someone else I need you to bash the skull.
But
All
yeah,
right.
Anyone.
Well, with all that stuff settled, do you guys plan on going deeper into the dungeon just to get progress made? I guess while you wait for Dustin to come bother you.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
It's not just that, it's just to gain to try to go deeper to the dungeon and maybe get a level.
Yeah, a level wouldn't
And-
hurt, especially when it looks like you're going to have to fight something that's pretty strong.
yeah.
I guess I'm just going to be preparing fucking 4 burning hands for the fucking verminous overgrowth.
By the way,
and
Joe,
then-
can you craft the clasp Swarmbane?
Yeah, just give me the money.
Sure, I'll give you the money, because then I can actually be useful for this.
I could have done it during the time we were in
I mean,
fucking-
yes, but we were not planning on doing this, so I didn't give you the money, because
Yes,
I
we
thought you were
were.
going to be
we weren't planning on doing it immediately.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess well, depending on how much it costs,
It's
So,
3,000, so it would take 2 days.
3,000, so it takes 3 days.
Oh, so true. Never
Yeah.
mind.
Right.
Fucking, I hate that it's just like, oh, well, it costs half, but everything goes
But
up.
yeah,
in other
I'll give you
ways.
the money.
I'm tempted to open sex with Hitler whenever I'm away from my computer, just so it racks up an ungodly amount of hours.
Just
I mean,
sitting there,
thank
just like
you.
looking at it, why do you, David? Why do you have 32 hours of sex with Hitler?
32 hours is child's play. I'm thinking, like, when I go to sleep, before I go to sleep, I'm just
Please
going to
don't
turn it
talk
on
about
as a
child's
background.
play when regarding sex with Hitler.
Sex
be
with,
fair,
look,
dude.
We
Hitler
have
and sex.
193 hours.
Hitler and sex involves child play. I'm gonna open sex with Hitler while I'm playing other games so that I rack up twice as many Steam hours as possible. I think that
Oh,
was a
no.
thing. That's a thing you
to
could
be-
do, right? I remember there's something where if you open up 2 Steam games at once, both games like tracked hours twice as fast.
Why
I don't know
pay-
because I never had 2 games open at the same time.
Well,
Why
will you work on the new ERG season?
why pay money to have sex with Hitler when you can fuck Hitler for free?
Could you imagine me having to explain this to my sister? Who's like, "Why do you have 10,000 hours in this game?" I'm like, oh, "I thought my
Yeah.
friend sent me fuck Hitler, but it was I misread." I'm gonna
Fuck
come
Hitler
back.
is
I'm gonna come back next week, like actually a Nazi. Like after playing Sex with Hitler, I realized he was right. Like, Steven, I need
Jesus.
you to put on the maid costume.
I absolutely need that not to happen. I don't need that on my resume. Help turn David into a Nazi.
You don't even have to specify which one they mean.
I mean,
You're the one that did that.
Depending on where you're going to put your resume, that can help you.
And to be fair, Jason, you wouldn't be the person that would have tried the hardest to have that done. We've had people that legit tried to fucking convert David to that kind of point of view.
That's not even surprising.
It's
Mhm.
just more sad that there's like unironic racists. Like, I get that I might have like confused some racists who are like, hell yeah, we can make these jokes. I'm like, yeah, they're just jokes. And they're like, that's what I'm talking about. They're just jokes. By the way, this bubble burning guy, he sounds like he eats a lot of watermelon. Like, Steven's like, I didn't even say anything. How can you tell? He's like, I can smell the chicken grease through my mic. I don't hear Steven speaking, so I'm doomed. Alright, goodbye, stream. It was just a joke, but I'm being canceled now. Steven is typing. I'm not in the room. Okay.
You're still canceled though.
I'm still canceled. I was canceled approximately 5 hours ago at the beginning of the stream when we were making all those racist jokes.
I mean, to be honest, it doesn't matter if you get canceled. You're not famous enough for it to matter.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, yeah,
Can't
all of
wait until
the cancel culture look at you like, how many people watch them? 2 in a good day? Well, fuck it. Tell me when it's 2,000.
I thought I could say the word. After all, PewDiePie gave me the pass. I heard a very quiet shut up from Steven. I don't think he was in the room. I mean, I might have hallucinated it, but I think Steven's like 3 rooms away, and he just said it loud enough to register.
By the way, just
That's your
a thing.
conscience.
Oh, my conscience sounds like Steven. That makes sense.
Just
My internal monologue is a black man. That's why I keep saying it. I can't stop.
just a beginning. Does anyone else need one of the things like the class plane? So they do full damage to swarms?
Class.
I
Or is
mean,
everyone...
I could probably just provide support. I don't know if
It's mostly to see downtime that we have while the master is crafting that.
I think
Okay.
I also
Steven-
don't think we have enough
let
money
me-
for it, but
Let me quickly say we're tabled here. Any extra talking is talking like future planning.
I'm gonna dip then. You guys have a good night, okay?
Oh, I will
Alright.
say this. Don't forget Kieran isn't here next week.
That's true. He doesn't go in the dungeon then.
He's there in spirit.
He said he was gonna play pair 5 burning hands. I guess someone could just like manipulate him like a bot.
I mean, if Kirim gives permission, whenever he comes back.
We can talk to that during the weekend for Primus. So just
For Primus is around, so
no, that's after
oh
Primus.
okay. Sorry, I understood. And okay.
Man, this is so disappointing. When you scroll down through the Sex with Hitler thing and it shows like community posts, there's a bunch of meme things here. I'm like, hey, maybe this community isn't so bad. And then there's just a picture of like Hitler shirtless where I can almost see a bit of dick. Where I'm like, all right, it's time to stop.
I mean, it's part of the game.
It's part of the game. I mean, yeah, some of this stuff just looks like provocative, like images, and then there's a bunch of posts of like there's like 50 images of gnomes, like like Scandinavian gnomes.
Probably the get gnome thing, I assume.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I'm actually
yeah.
gonna have to send this to somebody else to play because I want the achievements because it's gonna holster down my. Let me go to my profile. 82% average completion rate.
How many achievements does it have?
39.
I mean, again, he just needs to play it, and if that does have the skip option, you can probably finish it in less than an hour.
I can refund
But
it in less than an hour then.
He doesn't. You need to be aware, Pedro. He doesn't just want to. He wants to complete it.
No, I just want the achievements so I can send it away from Steam. I'm actually tempted just to refund it now, or I can send to Steam. We're going. I thought this was a funny meme game, but it's just porn.
Yeah, I mean, does he get? I don't think he gets the money back though.
He got the copy back. It goes like into his wallet thingy.
He can own it. I don't care. he's still his fault for doing it.
Oh, I'm a get going.
All right. Have a nice night, Pedro. Over the week, you guys can discuss everything that you crafted in case you missed anything, and talk about what items you're going to be suiting up for the Firmness Overgrowth.
Well,
It
I'm
is
poor.
only a few floors, mind you.
I mean, yeah, but considering
a
the amount of
floors
mushrooms,
swarms, vermin swarms, plant monsters.
I'm poor because Pat chewed me out of my money.
Hey, I'm also broke because I gotta spend some money to buy some other stuff that I can't craft because I'm too slow at it.
shame. Well,
By the way, did you know I have another image of Olivia when she's a higher level?
Huh? Just say, is it not the same fucking image?
No. The other one is. I don't know why they get fucking like I drop one in, but I don't know where the other one is in the file, so I figured, I'll just do the fucking search thing, thinking it'll open up. See, that still didn't do what I wanted it to do. What the hell?
I hope you choke on a motherfucking cheese stick.
She
I
bought a
bet
kit.
you drink, you nasty bitch. I bet you drink white Gatorade and smell like nickels.
Gross.
I think it was the same one.
Hey, that's the same picture.
Yeah, I mean,
No, it's
that's
not.
cloak of protect. She bought a cloak of protection.
Oh, fuck off.
Oh, yeah, there's the cloak.
I noticed
I'm a higher
immediately.
level. I bought a cloak.
Cloak of resistance. My
You
bad.
think a level 2 can afford a magic cape? Fuck out of here.
We were
Maybe.
given
I
a
mean,
magic.
we're level 2 when we got our cape, so
Yeah, when you get your cape.
I think it went for Kiran.
Oh man.
Okay.
Okay, anyways, I'm gonna leave now before I continue into
Yeah.
this spiral.
Yeah, good night, Pedro.
Night.
Wonder how well you guys are going to do against a shadow giant.
Not well, because I remember those.
You should find out their weaknesses. For example, they're large and throw rocks and have magic powers. Maybe you should. Actually, what it should be is they have like a blur thing going for them.
I don't know.
They can only do so much, so I think what you want is illumination.
Bright light.
kind of the thing the only reason I kind of know a little bit about them, David, is because of the Shadow Palace game I did.
Yeah.
And they were like some of the higher level enemies or shadow giants. Oh, Pat, by the way, I did find the file that I had all the images for Shadow Palace. Because you were asking me if I had all the images still.
I don't think I was.
You did, mostly because I was sad we couldn't do the game. So you asked if I still had the stuff, and I said no. And then
Oh
I found them.
yeah, it wasn't specifically the images. It was like, do you have the setting in your notes and stuff? Like if you ever wanted to do it again.
Well, funny then. I have very few notes, and I do remember the plot. You overestimate my note-taking ability. I just know the plot by heart. Why? It's not very deep. There's a palace made of shadows. Go fight. I tried so it wouldn't be any confusion, but there's someone who wanted to be a merchant.
Shut up.
To bring him in, merchant in the fucking palace of shadows.
Yeah, they obviously need some merchants over there.
You're gonna eat your face out.
It's like, fuck you.
Will you sell me your face? And then you get to answer no, and then they eat your face. No,
Man, I loved the part where they ate his face.
me too. It was my favorite part.
Your
The only
face was the garnish.
The only better part than that is when they ate the fucking twins.
Did you actually kill the party in that?
No.
Yeah.
I was gonna,
It
but
was like I had it up to hear them.
I was fucking gonna.
this is the thing. I was trying not to have further bad blood with people because we were supposed to be playing a game together. So I decided to end it instead of simply letting them go against the boss. Because the issue of the boss, David,
Was that I wasn't there anymore?
yeah, you weren't there anymore, and you had the highest CC. And then the other front line was with almost no HP compared to you, and almost no AC compared to you.
No, remember, Joe? I built my character wrong. That could have been so much better," said the commenter.
Yeah. So because of that, I was looking at who could frontline against this, and then Cody decided to come in with a new character and made him a ranged character. And I'm like, well, this isn't gonna help a lot. I even gave you guys stuff to fight him. But yeah, well, then it didn't work. Like, I was like doing the numbers, and I'm like, with one last person, this will be harder. And with two people not playing actual classes, this will be impossible.
It's life sometimes.
Back.
You
Welcome
know
back.
what you should do? You don't want to go up into the hive boss itself to check this scroll. You should try casting it now to make sure it works.
Shut up.
Uh-huh.
That's the only
Sure, man.
chance you deserve.
You should try casting it in Town Square.
Well, David,
Don't listen to him.
thank you for the session. Thank you so very much for your advice.
I can't believe I'm preparing all of my slots into Burning Hands tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what we need to tell him. Is you said you're not going to be here next week.
Oh yeah, so true. I can be your Burning Hands bot. The only spell I have prepared aside from my divination slots.
Excellent.
You do agree to that, then?
Huh?
I said you
Bye.
do agree to that they are your bot, good
Goodbye.
iPad.
Okay.
I mean, that's fine by me.
As soon as
Basically
you're
what I'm
out,
there
we'll-
for.
Yeah, as soon
If
as you're
people
out,
want me to
you'll
have
run
a
like
higher...
a bitch.
Huh?
As soon
If
as
people-
you're out, we'll make you run like a bitch. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
We're going to encounter some floor that Kieran's going to be really mad that he missed when he looks at the stream later. He's like, I would have had so many responses to that.
No, probably not.
Alright.
If you want me to have a higher initiative, use heightened awareness. If you want me to try and read someone, well, it's not reading thoughts, but getting better AC and attacks versus someone use anticipate thoughts. I also have arcane bond if you want any of my other spells.
Yeah, I know how wizards function.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, that's what the divination slots do.
Understood.
But otherwise, I'd assume, since there's just going to be a shitload of swarms, it'll be
Yeah.
me preparing Burning Hands. And
I'll
that's
do
it.
I'll do some light reading before the game actually starts.
Sure.
Mostly
Also-
so I don't fuck you. But yeah,
Okay,
I'm
cool.
also gonna step away. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Oh gosh. I'll
Yeah,
probably head
I
out
should
as
be ending the
well.
stream too. Yeah, good night, everybody. Until next time.
Yeah. Be seeing you.